but how you think determines exactly what happens in your life. So in this video, you're gonna see exactly what it takes to succeed as a business owner and what kind of mindset that you need to have. And you'll get to see this from a conversation that I had with my friends Sergio and Jose. Also, if you're new to the channel, my name's Justin You're Wrong. I'm a real estate investor and entrepreneur here in Las Vegas. I've made hundreds of videos teaching people about real estate, and the goal of this channel is to help you grow your money and mindset. Also, if you want to see more personal content, follow me on Instagram at Justin You're Wrong.
Talk about the market, talk about the real estate interest rates. I'll tell you my point of view. I also had the whole pipeline. I had the whole marketing. I've done direct mail, I've done the text, SMS, the whole cold calling, everything. And I had a lot of thought and conversations with you too, Serge. And I decided to that's not what I want to do, because even if you're trying to do flips on wholesale, like we talked about, this is like two different businesses. This is not one thing. Like you do wholesale, which is like the sales, the marketing, trying to get it, and then you do the flip, which is a project management and trying to get everything in order. Like I want to do the flips, but then I was doing the flips for my ultimate goal and going to a lot of masterminds and going to a lot of different events. I've talked to people and they're kind of like the same boat. Like, yeah, I want to do flips. I want to do wholesale because I want to build up a cash base, right? So that I can go and do what I want to do. And I'm, being an engineer too, I'm like, okay, how do I shortcut this process? And I'm even myself, I try to do it. It's like, it gets to a point where, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to do what I want to do, which is multifamily. So I went ahead, and this year has been a transition for me. I cut off all of my marketing, just completely down to zero. I don't have cold callers. I don't have any VAs working for me right now. And it's just strictly me now communicating with a lot of brokers, talking to different people who are in the multifamily business. Even within our group, I have people that have been interacting even more now. And I realized that it's not a matter of building that cash base that people are talking about. It's more a matter of understanding where your weaknesses are in that particular endeavor. So if it's multifamily, where are your weaknesses? If your weaknesses is cash, then focus on getting private money lenders. Like, how do you market to them so that you can actually get that money? Or if your weakness is actually marketing, then how do you partner with somebody who's better than you at that? And then you can find multiple different ways. It really is creative. We talk about creative finance here too. We talk about all of these things, but it's really about creativity and how to solve your problem. And there's a book that I remember that I think it was you that put it. It's not how, but who. I'm probably misremembering the title of the book.
Well, not how. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So that's to me it has been a big thing this year. I don't want to keep doing things that I'm doing it for as an ends to something else. I want to just do what I want to do, and that's it. And then I'm doing Airbnb because selfish reasons. Like anybody, you want to travel around the United States. You want to have houses here and there, and that's what I'm doing. So that's awesome. For me, marketing for multifamilies, I am not planning to do any type of direct mail or any type of these things. I just want to do direct to the brokers and find it from there, because I also think they will act as if they were wholesalers. So they will do the due diligence so that I can actually leverage and do my own, kind of look at the pro formas and that type of thing.
I have a good story for this. So basically yesterday I was talking to this guy. He's a mortgage lender. Forgot his name. I just met him, but super nice guy. I was like, oh, cool, you're in mortgages? He's like, yeah, I'm in mortgages because I want to leverage that money into flipping. I'm like, oh, cool, man. You have any questions? Like, I'll help you out. No problem. He's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to flip so I can leverage money into multifamily, because that's really what I want to do. I was like, dude, whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is, whether it's commercial, development, multis, flipping, wholesaling, just do that. I was like, quit beating around the bush. Those 4 years that you're going to spend getting good at flipping, you could have spent those 4 years getting good at multifamilies or whatever it is. And you're going to be happier. You're going to save time. You're going to actually be doing what you want to do. And I told him that, and his eyes opened up like this, oh my God, you're right. And that's just the reality. Just like you said, you gotta be able to focus on what you really want at the end of the day and go for that, because everything else, even though it seems similar, it's not similar. It's not the same thing.
Another way that I see it is that we probably have a different mentality than somebody who's just starting out. We have definitely seen the struggles. We have been there, and we have seen whether just one thing is so difficult to overcome, rather than just thinking about how could I, rather than just being a complete block and be like, okay, I can do it. I can do it, but why can't you? Right? Like there's always a reason behind everything.
You want to explain that mindset, Justin? I feel like you got it.
Yeah, no, I mean, so like, I had some thoughts whenever you said that, just like whatever you want, go for it. Because I feel like a lot of people do this. So a lot of people, whether they're starting out or not, they'll get into this idea of like, hey, like I'm doing this because I want this. And by them choosing that other thing, like it literally puts a roadblock, an obstacle right in front of what they really want. And it makes them take way longer. Whereas like you said, if they went straight for what they wanted, it might, and it probably will be a lot more learning, it might be harder, but it'll be faster in the long run because they're going to be focused on that one thing for a long, long time. But it's scary. And so I think that's where a lot of people mess up. And that's something that I messed up with a long time. So it's until you figure out, so if you want this, like there's a way to do it. You just have to find people to maybe teach you, and you have to like constantly learn, constantly try to take action as you learn. So those are my thoughts.
That's a good one. He said it's scary. How much fear is in our
It ain't
business?
scary, bro. It ain't scary. It's easy. That's why everybody does it, because it's easy, right?
How do you deal with fear?
My faith, dude.
Your faith?
Faith in God, man.
Okay.
Sometimes I get so much fear I can't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
When I had $1 million in loans for the first time in December,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't sleep for like a week. And dude, I just lean on God. I lean on faith. I read Bible verses.
Mm-hmm.
I pray. Sometimes that doesn't help, but I mean that's just the way I do it. You know, that's the way
Right.
that I cope with it. I'm sure other people have different ways that they cope with the stress and the fear, but you know, the way I see it, it's either fear or it's faith. Like there's no alternative. And kind of like in my faith base, like the devil is fear. So I just try to avoid that, and it's, you know, it's impossible to never have fear, you know. But you know, it's good to battle it. It's good to recognize it and to push against it.
Yeah. You know what? I think I love fear. I think it's a great thing. And I don't think it's necessarily about even overcoming it. It's about embracing it and like just like letting yourself feel it without like taking over. Because the worst part is that when it hits and it takes over and it gets you in this feeling of like you actually changing your decision making or you changing your habits and your things because you're so fearful, that's when it messes you up. But if you let it hit you and you're like, all right, back's against the wall, I'm still gonna do it anyway, it's fine. And sometimes, like for me, maybe like people are different. Sometimes for me, like ignorance is bliss. Like you said you had $1 million in loans, and I was like, I don't even know how much I had in loans until you said that. And I was like, I think I have like 500K in loans. And I was like, oh shit, like ignorance is bliss. I didn't even know. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
By that, we're not saying you have to wing it. By the way, I'll tell you, like for me, I do also deal with fear a lot, and just because you know, tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? It's not like I am similar to you. Like I'm also millions of dollars in debt, but you know, based on this good debt, real estate's debt. But at the same time, you think about, okay, fear. You know, in my head, it's fake because we have two type of fears, and you have the fear where it's like immediate physical right now, like there is something that's gonna be dangerous to you, like physically, right. And then you have the in your head fear, like the emotional fear, like I don't know what's going to happen type of fear. Yeah. And that fear you can control. That fear you can control because it is something that it's going to eat. Like it's like a little seed. It's gonna eat you little by little. And if you let it, if you don't really like focus on it, like what's causing that stress, then you're gonna become a super stressful person. And if you become a super stressful person, like think about what kind of life you're living, what kind of business you're leading, if you have employees, like how are they gonna see you? Like they're gonna see you as a stressed person, the stress boss, walking around always like with like their head under their pillow, like you don't know what to do. Like who wants to work for somebody like that? Think about that. That comes with leadership. So for me, I do have a place where I deal with my fears. I mean, I just go on, and sometimes like throughout the week, you gotta like, you know, do action based, right? Do. But then there's a time where you have to like actually face them. And to me, like I find my own place where I can meditate. I can look into it. I do some reading as well. And this kind of helps me because fear to me, I always tell my fear is fake because it's not right now. It's not real. It's in the future. Fear is always the fear that comes from your head is always in the future. Always in the future. You're like, oh, what happens if? That's in the future. You could do something right now so that if is not an if. You know, that's my point of view on that one.
A lot of new real estate investors are held back entirely by their mindset. I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. And also, if you want help to grow your real estate business, whether you're brand new or if you already got deals on your belt, DM me the word coach on Instagram at JustinYurong. Peace.